Beauty, peace, and security are three reasons why you should make Eagles Base Villa and Cottage your next vacation home. It's located in Orange Hill and has a spectacular view of the Caribbean Sea. Stick around as we explore the beauty of this scenic property. I'm Davia Chambers and Let's Talk Tobago starts now. THA officials meet with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. We take you to the Carnival Museum and later, Veendam's maiden voyage. These stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago continues. We'll be right back.
I'm Newton George and I'm a tour guide specializing in bird watching. I really got into this thing through my dad, who was an ardent birder, and he was the custodian in Little Tobago. I started to do bird watching now as a career because of my love for these birds. And it has taken me to Africa, to Brazil, to Germany, to India. Bird watching is a part of the tourism industry, and tourism is all our eating.
Come, let we go to Tobago, that paradise, among by Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say, come Tobago for holiday.
Eagles Base Villa was established in March 2016 and is located in the peaceful village of Orange Hill. The property reflects a very easy style and is in close proximity to the Mount Irving Beach facility. In our lead story this week, the Chief Secretary meets with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service top brass to discuss crime prevention and solutions. Here's Omadara Mills with the details of the meeting.
Even as you enjoy yourself this carnival season, it's important that you, your friends and family remain safe. The Tobago Division of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has already begun advising Tobagonians how to do that. This includes taking precautions to minimize the potential for robberies and violence.
Persons who are leaving home, who when you go to party, to leave with groups, to be with groups. If you're going to drink, don't drink and drive. If you're at the hold of a firearm and you have to leave home, lodge it at the police station. So all these issues will be highlighted, and we have comments highlighting those things on the press. So we're asking people to look at the press, and we will also be going out in the communities to do some of those public service announcements before Carnival.
As police seek closer ties with communities, they plan to continue their yoga. That's the Youths Opposed to Guns and Ammunition initiative.
We intend to continue that initiative in the coming months to ensure that people get on board in terms of assisting us in giving us the information to get rid of the drugs and guns on the island.
The Chief Secretary, Kelvin Charles, is encouraging Tobagonians to cooperate with the police. He says input from the public is a critical element to solving crimes.
Well, I'm confident that the police is doing their best in the circumstances. Arguably, their efforts ought to be supported by information, because that is the only way that some of these offenses will be resolved. And that is why I urge all Tobagonians to respond positively to the initiatives of the police and to be supportive of the police as they carry out their investigations.
Mr. Charles says the Assembly will work to help build trust between the public and the police. He believes this approach to dealing with crime will help to build safer and more peaceful communities. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
This property is new. The owners really wanted to provide locals with a getaway to escape the busyness of their everyday lives. So the Logos Hope made its way to Tobago after its 2-week visit to Trinidad. Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles was greeted by the director of the Logos Hope and given a tour of what they had to offer. Have a look at this.
The world's largest floating book fair, the MV Logos Hope, has returned to Trinidad and Tobago. The ship boasts of over 5,000 quality, affordable book titles, covering a wide range of subjects, including science, sports, hobbies, cookbooks, medicine, and languages, and it's docked at the port of Scarborough. Trinidad and Tobago has always been one of the favorite destinations for the vessel. In fact, this country holds the record for the most number of books bought from the MV Logos Hope, a little over 326,000. That record was set in 2009 when Tobago purchased more than 52,000 of those books. 8 years later, the Logos is back.
We've been the last 5 years out in Southeast Asia, Mideast, just worked our way around Africa, and now back this year, hopefully most of the year here in the Caribbean. We've just come from Port of Spain. This is a big port for us because we do have what we call our changeover. We have about 70 men and women, some families right now in Trinidad preparing to come on board.
The Logos Hope also hosts exclusive cultural on-board events for people of all ages, all with one purpose.
The Logos Hope is really a vision to make a difference in the world that we live in and among the people that we meet as we sail from port to port. Our intention is to be very purposeful about making the difference in the people's lives. Logos Hope brings together people from all walks of life.
The Logos Hope staff are all volunteers. They interact with the public wherever they visit, bringing aid, hope, and inspiration to those who need it most. Their charity work also includes donating textbooks and reference volumes. Chief Secretary Calvin Charles, who is also Secretary of Education, Innovation, and Energy, sees similarities in the mission of the MV Logos Hope and his desire to change the face of education in Tobago.
My vision for Tobagonians is to ensure that we have a progressive approach to education and that at the end of the day, those of us who are the beneficiaries can wield it effectively as our island continues to develop. This includes improving the levels of functional literacy and numeracy among our students and boosting the standards of performance among schools.
The MV Logos Hope will be in the Port of Scarborough until February 20th, 2017. The entrance fee is $5 per person. However, admission is free for children under 12 and adults aged 65 and over. I'm Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
The owners wanted to share a facility that was affordable. Guests can rent the cottage for just $150 or rent the villa for $600. The Queen of Calypso and Tobago's daughter Calypso Rose brought more pride to these shores as she copped the French Grammy equivalent for World Music Album of the Year for her latest offering, Far From Home. We have all the details in this next report. Take a look.
Leave me, let me free up. Let me step, let me jump up.
Calypso Queen is a song you will hear on Calypso Rose's latest album entitled Far From Home. It's a compilation that's won the World Album of the Year award at the Victoire de la Musique Awards ceremony in France, the French equivalent to a Grammy Award. In her acceptance speech, Calypso Rose thanked her agent Jean-Michel Guibert and her producer on the album, Ivan Duran. The veteran Calypsonian also remembered her roots.
I want to thank my government of Trinidad and Tobago and all my fans all over the world.
Et donc elle veut remercier toute sa communauté de fans à travers
They
le
have
monde.
kept me going
Il l'aide à continuer.
with the beautiful music and the vibrations I give them.
Far From Home was initially released in June of last year under the Because Music label. It sold over 60,000 copies in France. Now No Madame is another song on the album. It's a remix of the 1969 version. The song criticized the treatment of servants and was deemed as a motivating factor that helped change policies for better working conditions.
Working as a domestic, quite in Prince's tongue. But the madam, she had me sick, the way how she's getting on. As you reach in the morning, holding me name calling. She too miserable. Anything she want me to do is rose. You wash up your wares, no madam. You clean down the stairs, no madam. You polish the floor, no madam.
In 1977, Calypso Rose became the first woman to win the Road March competition with her song Tempo. A year later, she won the Calypso King competition, which then had to be renamed the Calypso Monarch competition. Over the years, the Tobago House of Assembly has honored this Bethel-born Calypsonian. At Tobago Day celebrations in December, Calypso Rose received the Tobago Medal of Honor Gold for distinguished and outstanding service in the sphere of culture, Calypso. The Assembly also established the Calypso Rose Award. The award is presented to a deserving and promising cultural artist on Tobago Day. Far From Home was released in Trinidad and Tobago in November last year. The 76-year-old plans to continue performing her songs such as Albertina, and Leave Me Alone. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's time to take a break. Don't go anywhere. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Come, there we go to Tobago, that paradise, among by Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say, come Tobago for holiday.
Welcome back. You're viewing Let's Talk Tobago. Now guests are invited to participate in activities from water sports to bird watching to make their stay on the island a memorable one. February is one of the many eventful months of the year. It's the month of Carnival. In our next story, Caroline Wallace talks about one initiative geared towards connecting different communities via art and culture. Here's more.
Museums provide knowledge and inspiration. They allow us to connect with different communities, the arts and culture. That's exactly the aim of the Tobago Carnival Museum, which will run until the end of February. It's located at the recently refurbished GNV Place in Scarborough. There you can find My Tobago Marketplace, the home of everything culture. In the run-up to the greatest show on earth, Trinidad and Tobago Carnival is the perfect opportunity to educate the public on the history of one of Tobago's biggest cultural showpieces.
This Tobago Carnival Museum allows us to create a formal space to exhibit and celebrate Carnival. This museum, as we know it, is also intended to serve as an educational facility, tourist attraction, as well as it allows our local artists and stakeholders in the realm of Carnival to showcase their talents.
The museum marries entertainment with knowledge, particularly to help the younger generation learn more about our culture. It will serve as a reservoir of information that's readily accessible for both visitors and residents.
The space is a space that is both educational and entertaining. So it's what we call, in the coin phrase is what we call in my space or in our space, what we call edutainment. What you have there is a wealth of information also for students and for researchers.
Tobagonians can also feel a part of this venture. They'll have the opportunity to showcase their talent in the arts, culture, cooking, and other areas. The experience can also help them identify entrepreneurial opportunities.
It's about a sense of pride to know that right here you can do something, you can be a part of something that belongs to you. And those are, you can't pay for that. So you're talking preservation, you're talking entrepreneurship, you're talking dissemination of knowledge, you're talking about cultural awareness, cultural pride.
The Carnival Museum is an initiative of the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation. The division has also launched the My Tobago app, which will connect users with all the information they need about Tobago.
Reviews from TripAdvisor indicate that guests enjoy the scenic view from the villa and often recommend the property to friends and family. Management wants you to know that this property is ideal for your carnival cool-down, weddings and large family gatherings. Tobagonians will have the opportunity to voice their opinions on the policy that will ensure the protection of Tobago's assets in future. Currently Freitas fills us in with this report.
People from around the world come to Tobago to see this. This and this. And locals are filled with pride because of the natural beauty with which Tobago has been blessed. But how do we preserve it? By ensuring that people are aware of the issues affecting our environment and creating mechanisms, such as the National Environmental Policy or NEP, that inform how we use and protect the environment. It's part of the mandate of the National Environmental Management Authority, the EMA. The policy was last revised in 2006. Now, it's being updated to serve Trinidad and Tobago in 2017 and beyond. So the EMA is hosting consultations in Tobago to get feedback on the island's environmental needs.
There are a lot of issues, a lot of environmental issues that are on the table since 2006, and foremost amongst those issues would be climate change. The 2006 NEP did not consider climate change. So we need to revise the NEP, and this is the opportunity for Tobagonians to get involved in terms of the revision of the National Environmental Policy. The National Environmental Policy is the national environmental policy for both Trinidad and Tobago. And I mean, it's a great opportunity for Tobago.
The consultation will take place on February 21st at Scarborough and February 22nd at Argyle. An early draft of the policy, written after initial consultations, will be online at www.ema.co.tt from February 20th for public comment.
And you can make your comments online. I mean, you don't have to wait on the consultation. You don't have to send a formal letter to the EMA. You can immediately make your comments on the document, and they will be received by the EMA. So we look forward to the participation of as many Tobagonians as possible at the public consultation.
Mr. Romano says it's important that Tobagonians have their say on issues that will affect their island.
As the world changes, as we start seeing the impact of climate change, whether it's sea level rise, whether it's decreased rainfall and increased rainfall intensity events, we need to ensure that we have the policy in place to deal with these events. And this is the opportunity for all Tobagonians to have that opportunity to say what they want in a revised national environmental policy.
The policy will impact how we treat the environment in the island. It's an important step to ensuring Tobago remains clean, green, safe and serene. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
The main villa has 6 bedrooms which sleeps 15 persons comfortably. However, with the addition of the air mattresses, it can sleep a maximum of 26 persons. The honeymoon cottage has 1 bedroom and can sleep 2 persons comfortably. Now come with me as I take you on a journey through the years, the highs and lows, the milestones and memorable moments since 1980 when the new Tobago House of Assembly was formed. Let's have a look at this week's footnotes.
Standing in regal splendor at the top of this historical site overlooking the capital. Well, of course, the most appropriate place for a maiden of my wisdom, knowledge, and stature to adore. No one can deny that I am the epitome of beauty.
That's Kimmy Potts, a multi-talented local performer, showcasing her skills at the Tobago Heritage Festival and helping to preserve the island's traditions. After the assembly was restored in 1980, the Department of Culture set about guiding and enhancing the island's cultural development. This was done by hosting key events such as the Tobago Heritage Festival, which was started in 1986 by anthropologist Dr. J.D. Elder. The Culture Department also spearheaded the Carnival Educative Project School Tours starting in 2015. It was previously known as the Educative Arts Festival, which ran for a decade. The interactive series educated participants on traditional carnival, its history, and characters such as the Baby Doll and Dame Lorraine, through guided participation by experts in the field.
It's important because it's part of our legacy. It forms part of the wider mandate that sees us preserving and promoting our cultural traditions in a global space.
To ensure the preservation of our culture, they've also launched the Tobago Indigenous and Traditional Arts Academy this year. And the culture of Tobago has been exposed nationally and internationally, from Point Fortin's Borrow Day celebrations to New York City.
I'm very excited about this performance. A little bit nervous because of the spacing. It's so intimate, but I'm really excited to give it my all.
The Cultural Department has also ensured young people can gain experience in the administrative aspects of culture through its Youth in Culture program. That program is in its third year. We've come a long way since 1980, and the past carries valuable lessons for the future. As Marcus Garvey once said, a people without the knowledge of their past history, origin and culture is like a tree without roots. In Tobago, that push continues to ensure that the tree of culture is valued and understood. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's time to take a break, but when we return, we'll tell you more about Veendam's maiden voyage. Don't go anywhere. Let's Talk Tobago will be right back. This is Let's Talk Tobago. Thanks for staying with us. Eagles Base Villa and Cottage is a brand new villa that offers guests the luxury of uninterrupted and scenic views. On a clear day, you are greeted with the view of the northern range of Trinidad. First-time visitors to Tobago were greeted by the sweet melody of the steel pan as they visited various handicraft stalls. Julia James was present and has more in this report.
The 2016-2017 cruise ship season is well on its way in Tobago, and the island continues to attract a number of ships. The Veendam recently made its maiden voyage, bringing approximately 1,100 first-time visitors to Tobago, and the usual treat for cruise passengers is a variety of handicraft items. Kevin Steeple is one vendor whose items are well sought after by both locals and visitors.
Carnival time, and last year I did pretty well with masks. People came out buying, locals came to look for masks, because I sit here and I make the colors up for them too. So people love it so much that they bring friends.
Marilyn Williams is another craft vendor, and she expects good returns with her unique designs.
Tiny colors out there, and then they come back and it automatically, so then most of my evenings like this, when it ends up very good. So I don't normally complain when coming to that.
While doing their shopping, cruise passengers are entertained by local steel bands.
They play classical, they play the whole genre, they play the whole, the whole set. Classical, local music, jazz, they're very good.
Many visitors on the ship are coming to Tobago for the first time, but Master Captain Eric van der Wal says he previously visited the island as a surfer. It's an impression that has stayed with him.
I remember the beautiful beaches here for sure. So I do hope that our guests also get to experience this a little bit today. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm excitedly waiting on the responses we get back from our guests, and hopefully they will see the same thing what I discovered all these years ago.
The Veendam, which is part of the Holland American line, berthed between the TNT Express and the Logos Hope. The ship is on a 46-day Explore Brazil cruise, and Tobago is part of the Caribbean rotation. From the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation, I'm Juliet James reporting for Let's Talk Tobago.
The pool area is my favorite part of this property, as guests are able to take a cool dip in the pool while enjoying the scenic view of the Caribbean Sea and the rest of Tobago. Now, the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, TTFA, hosted a 10-day training camp to prepare members of the national beach soccer team for their upcoming game in the Bahamas in just a few days. Here's more in this report.
6 Tobagonians are in the national team that will compete in the 2017 CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers in the Bahamas from February 20th to February 26th. The final 12-man team was selected from a 21-member pre-tournament squad that attended a 10-day training camp. The camp was hosted at Turtle Beach by the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, TTFA. The 6 Tobago players are Kelvon Charles, Macan Hislop, David McDougall, Shalon Bob, Victor Thomas and Kevon Woodley. But beach soccer has more than just sporting value for the island.
Sometimes when I come to training evenings, I see a lot of young men from villages of Plymouth, Union, Wim. They actually ride and come down here, and we just had to lend them some balls because they are interested in the game. For the beach soccer competition, they always throw a camp for the kids, and it's always a good turnout. And how it could impact the country is tourism. There are players from all over the world.
The training session was the country's last before the players left for the tournament. The team stepped up preparation for the event, and Tobago provided the perfect facilities and conditions for the team seeking qualification for the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup.
Tobago, as you see, hosts the sand and the beaches, the natural facilities that we need to train, as well as the sand. The sand is a very crucial part of this sport. The sand being deep, it gives our men a sense of fitness and a preparation to be fit to go into these qualifiers where we have to play 5 or even maybe 6 games in a 1-week span.
The national team also had a bit of international help to give them some added advantage.
They have been working hard during the last months. It's important for them, the experience, and obviously they have not a lot. This is the bad point, but we are trying to help and support them with our experience, not only my one, the other teammates I bring with me, in order to help them, to let them know how they have to clean or improve several details that probably they will need. But they have been working very hard.
Tobago is fast becoming a destination for beach sports and events. The island currently hosts the annual Bago Sport Beach Soccer Championship and NOSICA, continental beach volleyball events. I'm Marlon Gotsleben for Let's Talk Tobago.
And it's time to have your say, the segment of our program where we hear what you, the viewers, have to say. So today we're asking, what is your favorite carnival event and why? While you think about it, let's take a look at who had their say this week.
Juve, because that's where all the sexy girls and them comes out.
I would say the Panorama and the Monday night mass.
Come like enjoyment for we and tourism.
Juve Monday morning, it's my favorite carnival event.
Calypso, and the reason for that is because we're trying to keep the carnival alive and the art form alive.
Juve morning. Because Juve morning, you see all kind of different things. People playing old mass, people coming together,
All the top artists in soca music will be at the best. So I really love Soca Monarch. I look forward to that every time.
We close another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and very productive week. We close now with a montage of the photographs from the Secretary's meet with the European ambassadors.